Hello, Nikesh. Hello, Abid. Thank you so much for joining. A very good evening to both of you, and a very good evening to all of you for joining us. Thank you so much. It is a tough situation outside. I want to make sure that all of us are safe. Please stay indoors as much as possible. Please make sure that uh, you are protecting yourself and your family from this cyclone. Nikesh, Abid, just to give you guys an update, there's a bit of a thunderstorm going on the western part of India, right? But yeah, there are a lot of people who have joined from different locations, and I want to make sure that everybody feels welcome here. So before we begin, I'd like to give you, um, I'd like to give a short introduction about Abid and Nikesh. Both of these, Abid and Nikesh, actually represent Chat Veda. So, guys, Chat Veda is mainly an organization which helps people design really beautiful conversations. They make sure that people understand what kind of conversations are there, what kind of conversations actually get you more audience, and can create an interaction more productive for you. So these guys would be explaining right now how you can design a really beautiful conversation on WhatsApp, and we'll also talk about how a WhatsApp bot is really important for you. So, Abid, Nikesh, if you would like to introduce yourself, I'm sorry if I did not do it with the kind of depth you were expecting. But yes, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
No worries. Thank you so much, Bhumit, for that introduction. And like you said, first of all, guys, thank you so much for attending the webinar with us. And I hope all of you and yours are safe at home. Yeah, I mean, like Bhumit said, we are a chat and a conversational marketing agency. And I'm definitely going to explain to you what we do and what it signifies in today's world. Right, and like Bhumi said, we were going to take you through what are the processes in which you can apply for WhatsApp APIs. We'll explain how WhatsApp chatbots work. We'll even show you a few examples of how what it looks like and what are the different use cases. So we're super excited for this, and we hope you guys get some value out of this webinar. And yeah, if any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. We are always open to comment.
Great. Abid, anything from your
Yeah.
side?
Hey guys, my name is Abid. I'm a co-founder of ChatVeda. Also, I handle chatbots at ChatVeda. So I'm the guy who built the bots, and Nigesh handles sales, business, and stuff like that, right? So our story is quite. We don't have much time to get into this conversation, but anyway, we'll give a glance how we started. So basically, 4 years back, Messenger, Facebook Messenger, right, opened the API so that people, businesses can build chatbots on it. And that's when chat marketing, the whole industry, digital marketing industry started, going through a path where business messaging apps can generate revenue, right? So we started growing that. We started seeing people doing chat marketing in US and all, and we thought, why can't we just, do something in India like that? But as you can see, as you know, Messenger, Facebook Messenger is not that huge in India. We all use WhatsApp. We use WhatsApp to talk with our friends, family, everyone, right? So that's where we thought like WhatsApp is huge for this industry, chat marketing, for sales or marketing or customer care, for any use cases, WhatsApp can be great for businesses, right? So that's when we figured out how we can help businesses on WhatsApp. And it's still growing on. We still research every day where we can make an impact using WhatsApp, right? So, it's still going on. The
Great.
journey is still going on. And yeah. So let's get to the
Great, Abid.
presentation, right?
Yeah,
Let's
sure,
start
sure.
the presentation before we get out of time. So I'll
Sure,
share
sure,
the
Abid.
screen.
But before we go to the presentation, Abid, I think there are some people who are already anxious and they're asking questions, whether they'll get some live demo, whether they'll be able to see some live presentation. So, do you think you will be able to
Okay.
show something to them?
Yeah, so what we're going to do today, of course, there are a lot of things to cover, when we're talking about WhatsApp Business API.
Okay.
Loads of things that that factors into how you can go or take the first step into the journey. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain to you how exactly everything works, and post this at the end of our presentation as well. We are going to share with you the deck that we've used, right? So in there, once you go tap into the replay, if you want to watch, we can give you a link to a couple of WhatsApp demos. You can try it yourself hands-on so that you know how exactly it would work, right? But unfortunately, because we're pressed on time, running a WhatsApp chatbot screen recording over a webinar might not be the best way of representing it, because every chatbot, as we've seen and worked with clients, what we understand is the moment they get it in their hands, that's when the excitement starts. They're seeing a video might not, translate into the experience that an actual person can feel it, right? I think Bhoomish would agree to it as well.
Definitely, without a doubt, Nikesh, I definitely agree to this. It sort of brings a little bit of credibility and authenticity to whatever we are presenting, and hence we will give you the deck, Mayank. To answer your question, we will give you the deck, but definitely before that, we would want you to see how a conversation is made, what kind of things are used, and what kind of thought process is put in when somebody is designing a conversation, right? So guys, fasten your seatbelts. Let's start this journey. Abid, over to you. Abid, how would you like it? So would you mind if we take up questions while we are moving, or would you want the questions to be stalled till we finish the presentation?
I think we can take up the questions after the presentation, right? So we'll try to finish up the presentation as soon as possible, so that the best part is the questions, right? That's where we get to learn more.
Absolutely.
So yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen now, and Nikesh can start. Can you please make me the host or something? I can.
Yes. Just 1 second. There you go. Yeah, you can share your screen now.
All right, guys. So welcome to this webinar where we're going to take you through what exactly is a WhatsApp business marketing, or how exactly can you use a WhatsApp business strategy as part of your business or your marketing efforts, right? So you can run through it. Yeah. So to give you an explanation, Abid gave you an idea of who we are. So we are a chat conversational marketing agency. Now, what does that mean? So we help businesses and marketers like yourself to build conversational marketing strategies using messaging apps like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Slack, Telegram, or other apps that you can use as well, right? So we create creative strategies using these messaging apps by building chatbots on these platforms and executing strategies around those, right? And yeah, you can shift to the next one. So yeah, we are the two co-founders of the company. Our background comes from, both of us have been in the marketing and advertising industry space for close to 8 to 10 years, together in the scene for almost 20 years now. And our angle into using chatbots have always been to enable businesses to use chatbots for their marketing efforts, right? Now, there's a reason why I say this. The major reason is because chatbots have been in the industry since the 90s. I don't think a lot of people know about this, right? The first chatbot was actually built in the 90s, where it was majorly focusing on customer service, right? Now, we've definitely come a long way since then, from the days of how, TV, newspaper, radio, SMS marketing, email marketing, and so on from started. And it's reached a point where people would prefer a two-way communication, that where they can reach out to brands and have a conversation with brands that help them create a trust factor with the brands, so that they can obviously help you gain more businesses and grow your business from there on, right? Reason why we are right now focusing on WhatsApp, right? Because WhatsApp, as you know, is used by everybody, right? I'm using it, you're using it, your parents are using it, probably your grandmother as well, right? So that's the number of users that WhatsApp as a platform has, and it is till date the largest messaging platform that has ever been, right? And that is because it has about 2 billion users, active users using the platform to communicate with their loved ones, to communicate with businesses, and so on. And another beautiful part why we look at it from a marketing point is because compared to our email marketing efforts, like one of the closest things that we can look into, email marketing generally from a marketing angle, if you're talking about, gives you a good 20% open rates. And we would look at about anywhere between 5 to 10% of click-through rate. And these are an average number in the industry that I'm talking about, right? Now, compared to that, WhatsApp can give you an average open rate of for anywhere up north of 97%, right? That's an amazing number that you can achieve. That means out of every 100 people you reach out to using WhatsApp, almost 95 to 97 people is going to see what you want to tell your customers, right? Then on top of that, we have click-through rates on the campaigns that we have done on the clients that we've worked. We generally see anywhere close to 50% click-through rate. Now, I'm not too sure of a good platform that can give you or probably guarantee you that kind of return ratios for your even your ad spends or even your retargeting efforts, right? Now, there are two ways a business can use WhatsApp. The first one is the WhatsApp Business app, right? Now, WhatsApp Business app was primarily introduced to help small businesses get onto the WhatsApp ecosystem. Now, when I say small businesses, I'm talking about businesses like your Kirana store, your next door, or probably the auntie who's making or baking cakes for you guys, right? So small scale businesses that can use WhatsApp to communicate with their customers and also create some kind of sales out of it. Now, the issue here is that if you want to scale it beyond that one-to-one communication or beyond that having one person controlling the entire thing, it is not possible, right? And also you cannot have automation systems, you cannot have chatbots built into a WhatsApp Business app. Now, the second method is the WhatsApp Business API, right? Now that's what we're going to focus on today, and that's what I think you guys would need to help you scale your businesses on WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp introduced in August of 2018 the WhatsApp Business API. They made it open for businesses to use the APIs to bring in automations, bring in human agents, an interface that can help you basically take the API and plug into any kind of system that you want, from live agents, to your CRMs, to your ticketing systems and whatnot, right? So that's what majorly WhatsApp Business API would help you for. Of course, when I say this is focused towards the medium and large businesses. Now, that being said, it is definitely not only for them, right? Even small businesses can take part with it, because right now what WhatsApp is doing is they're scaling the WhatsApp Business API through different providers. And there are a lot of players in the industry, for example, Whatnot, right, who help you enable your business at a fraction of the cost than it was compared to earlier. All right. Now, in terms of the getting access to a WhatsApp Business API, there are certain processes that you have to follow. Not everybody can jump onto a WhatsApp Business API. Now, when I say not everybody, it is based on a couple of factors and a couple of things by which WhatsApp verifies you as an actual business. If you're a content creator, probably not the best shot at this point of time. But yeah, you have to be a verified business if you want to take up your business onto API, have chatbots, and have automation. Now, I think I'll hand over to Abid, where he can explain to you what are the processes in providing in applying for a WhatsApp Business API and how exactly you can get started with it.
Yeah, thank you, Nigesh. So like Nigesh said, WhatsApp's API is not private now. The thing is, say WhatsApp is going to probably launch their API for public use in probably next 2 years or 1.5 years. We don't know yet. But right now, what WhatsApp did is they have 65 plus global partners, which are called business solution providers, right? So we have to go to one of these business solution providers and get the API from them. So to get an API, it will take around 1 to 4 weeks. All you have to, so there are a set of process you need to do before you apply for the API. I'll get into that. Um, so yeah, so to get a WhatsApp business API, first you need a business Facebook business manager verified account. So it's basically you always, if you're running ads on Facebook or Instagram, you will have a Facebook business manager, right? So the first thing you have to do is to verify the business manager that you are a real business. Like you have to give some details like electricity board bill or something like that to verify that you are a real business. And the next stage is to get a WhatsApp phone number. You can use a WhatsApp phone number you already use on WhatsApp or any WhatsApp apps, right? So the thing is, you have to get a new phone number, or if you are already using a number, just uninstall the mobile app, and then you have to apply for the API. So either you need to get a new mobile number or uninstall the uninstall that number, the app which you're already using this number. So if you have a number, then apply with the verified business manager and your new phone number, and talk to the business solution provider, and you will have to sign an agreement with them, and they will also ask for WhatsApp if your business is eligible to get on API or not. There are so most of the businesses are now getting approved on WhatsApp, unless it's some gambling businesses or some pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. So most of the businesses can get a WhatsApp API approval through these partners. And also, once you get the API key, you can connect to platforms like Whatnot and start building. So there are a lot of ways to build a chatbot, right? You can also self-code it, but it's going to take a lot of time. You can use languages like Python or JavaScript, anything like that, to build chatbots using coding, right? But platforms like Whatnot, what makes it easier is you can easily do all these without any coding. It's a drag and drop platform, so which I'm going to show you. I'll just stop this screen, and I'll get back to the Whatnot platform so I can show you how we are using Whatnot to build chatbots. So this is how Whatnot looks like, and we are going to go to Bot Builder now. So this is where all the magic happens. We don't have the time to show you all the bot building process, so I'll start with the bot which I already built a few weeks back. So this is the flow builder looks like, and it's not complicated as it see, but I'm going to show you a few steps. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Let's start with the first flow, right? So when you text a chatbot on WhatsApp, you'll get the intro message. So let's just set the intro message. So there is this feature called options. That's where we set the menu and stuff. We just say, hey, I'll just Boomish of hey name, something like that. We can fetch their WhatsApp name as well. And yeah. It's better I show what I already built, right? Because it's going to take a lot of time. So yeah. So this is a board demo we built for a real estate brand, and we start with the starting messages, and then we are giving options, right? Like WhatsApp bots are like press 1 for this option, press 2 for this option, right? The buttons and all those are coming very soon, but right now WhatsApp chatbots are operated in a way that we use keywords to trigger messages. So if your user press 1, then you have to go to this option. You can just connect it. I'll just delete it and show it. You can just drag and just connect it, right? So you can go on and create more options. It's a huge platform. Like it's very seamless to build everything. If you can get a demo or a trial account or something, definitely get on it and start building it on your own. And also the major feature we have seen in Whatnot is the live chat integration. So why it is important is that once you get the WhatsApp API, you can't use your WhatsApp app or WhatsApp business app. So basically you can use your, use the app on your phone to message, people who interact with your chatbots. For that, we will need a live chat provided by any of these providers or any platform. So Whatnot has this feature which they provide one of the best human agent system available. So this is how all the, chatbot conversation looks like from the backend. And if the user is interacting within the 24-hour period, which I'm going to talk about next, you can always reply, as a human agent. So I'll talk about how the messaging, what are the type of messages WhatsApp API provides, right? I'll get into it just a minute. So yeah, there are two type of messages on WhatsApp Business API. So both of these messages, you need to get a consent or an opt-in from the user, because just like what happened to SMS, right? All these companies are getting our numbers from somewhere. They're buying these databases bulk, and they're shooting us hundreds of messages on WhatsApp, which we don't even open, right? We rarely open any SMS unless it's transactional or from a bank or something, right? So to avoid the spammy part of WhatsApp, which can be happened when they get into the market, right? People can abuse the platform, people can use it for anything, right? So to control that, WhatsApp is coming up with different policies, different methods to, decrease the spam. So one of these is session messages. So basically, you can only, as a businesses, we can only message a user within the 24-hour window. A 24-hour window means once a user sends a message, right? And we all have the conversation. And once the user ends that conversation, from there to the next 24 hours, we can send any number of messages to our users. It can be promotional, it can be salesy, it can be about offers or anything like that. And also WhatsApp doesn't charge anything for these messages. It's actually free. But if you are going with different DSPs, all these pricing structures are different. Some people will charge based on the conversation. Some people will charge based on the number of users, or even I think Gupshup is right now the WhatsApp partner for Whatnot, right? Gupshup is one of the APIs you use. Yeah. So for
one
Gupshup,
of those, yes,
yeah, cool.
Yes.
So Gupshup, they charge on a per message model. It's a pay as you go. You can start as easy as recharging for $10, and it's pay as you go. You only recharge it when you get more messages, right? So it all depends on the BSP. So WhatsApp basically doesn't charge anything for these messages, and you can't send a session message or any other messages to the user after 24 hours. And that's where the template messages comes in. So template messages are business initiated messages that can be sent to an existing user with the user's consent, right? So the existing user means the user should have sent a message anytime in the period. They should be one of our subscribers. They should have had a conversation with our chatbot before, or you have seen these opt-in pages like in Book My Show, right? If you create an account on Book My Show and you book a ticket online and you get this message on WhatsApp. So how that works is, when you sign up, when you or create an account, they ask you for an opt-in to a permission to send you messages on WhatsApp. If you put that checkbox on, then that's basically the business has the consent. And from that point, businesses can send template messages to users. So the only problem is that few problems, not problems. So basically, template messages are expensive. Like we need to pay for WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is charging 31 paisa, I guess, for India for template messages. And all these BSPs might add margin or sell it for the same price. Depends on the BSP. So the template messages fee per message starts at 31 paisa, and we need WhatsApp's approval for that. So WhatsApp has some message types where we can use. It's one of those. So few of the message types are account update, anything just like Book My Show. You book the ticket and there's your message, right? Or if you need to log in, or if you need to recharge your account, anything like that, it'll be like connecting with their backend database where all these Book My Show database or any recharging platform database. And once people ask for their account details or anything related to the account, you can send messages using the account update. Just like that, you can send reservation update, payment update, shipping update, where you might have seen e-commerce stores sending you messages on about shipping, and also issue resolution, personal finance, appointment update, transportation update, ticket update, and alert update. So the thing is, you need to get WhatsApp's approval to send those messages. So it will be like, we create a template, we create few placeholders where we can change anytime, right? So once you send that template to WhatsApp, and it is not, so it can be anything promotional. It can be salesy, it can be promotional, it can have any words like coupon, promotion, offer, deals, anything like that. It has to be like for re-engagement, where the user shouldn't feel like it's a spam message or they are trying to sell you something, nothing like that. So if you do it well, if you properly use any of these message tags, your template messages will get approved, and you can always send those messages to the user. So I already covered this part and this one also. Yeah. So that's it. That's about the WhatsApp API. I know that you will have a lot of doubts. You will have a lot of questions about this. So we can talk about this more on our Q&A. So I'll give it to Nigesh to discuss about the common industry and the use cases WhatsApp has been seen.
Now, as a marketer, yeah, sorry, Bhumish, is there anything you want to add to
yes,
this?
I think I can see many questions, but maybe if you could, if you could give us like
no problem. I think
we can ask these questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, we can discuss a few questions.
Yeah, there is a question about one, whether the incoming messages are charged, Abid. Do you think incoming messages are charged? I don't think that they are charged, right? So would you like to answer that question?
Like I said, it all depends on the BSP, the WhatsApp solution provider you are using. So they basically get this API in that they can price it in any different models they can. So few people might charge for inbound messages and outgoing messages as well. Like Gupshup charges for both of them. Incoming messages.
Gupshup
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Gupshup is charging for incoming and outgoing as well. So like that, it all based on the BSP.
Okay. And I think there's another question.
To add to that, Bhumish, 1 second. To add to that, so with these BSPs, right? Now, what WhatsApp has done is basically they've chosen about upwards of 65 plus, close to 70 providers across the globe who are good technological partners who can withhold all kind of the network and data traffics that they can provide. Now, what they do is obviously depending on what is the scale at which they can grow, at the scale at which they are in, they have priced in different models. One of the models is what Abid told you guys about, is a pay-as-you-go model. So you do a recharge and until it's done, until it's used up, you can forget about it. And then once it's almost over, you'll get an email and then you can do the next recharge, like how you do a mobile top-up, right? The second method is in which is these people will charge you based on the number of active monthly users on your bot. Right. So this is where Abid was saying. So someone opt-ins to your chatbot, that is considered as an active user for your chatbot, right? Now you can give them the option to opt out if they are not interested. But otherwise, how these people will charge you is, say, for example, in a hypothetical manner, for if you have about 500 subscribers, they might charge you about, say, 2,000 to 500 rupees. This is just hypothetical figures that I'm talking about. Of course, each BSP has their own models in which they work. Now, another model in which these people work as well is that they give you a single cost on a monthly basis, and then you can have unlimited messages. But
that's the best one.
And when I say unlimited messages, it is for session messages only, right? There are template messages that every BSP charges. This is, honestly speaking, it's not expensive. Because if you look at, or if you take it as from a retargeting kind of angle, right? As a marketer, you would definitely know retargeting on any platform, be it be Facebook, on your Instagram, your cost is going to be anywhere between 20 to 100 bucks on an average. This is the cheap cost that I'm talking about, not even when the demand is pretty high, right? So on that scale, when we're talking about 31 paise, that can obviously, we have seen BSPs charge up to about 1 rupee 50 paise, close to 2 rupees as well, right, per message. But even then, when you look at it from the angle that I spoke about, this is 1/10 of the cost that you're getting to touch base with your customers. Of course, you have to be smart with it. You can't spam your customers. You can't send promotional materials, because the idea behind this is WhatsApp right now is providing a platform that helps you reach your customers where they are, right? Now, when email started, that's exactly where email was, because it was a platform where you could reach your customers in a click of a button, right? Type a text, send the message, and it's over. But you and I today, I mean, I have a personal email. I'm pretty sure everybody has it, right? Which I've been using for years. Now, the problem was that I hardly open it. Even if I open it, I open majorly probably only for my transactional data. But even that is now changed into different, like, I prefer WhatsApp, I prefer another platform altogether, because it is clutter, right? There's thousands of emails in every person's inbox. Now, the reason for that is marketers and business owners like us, when we got a platform back in the day, of course, it was a new platform. There were no restrictions, hardly any fees as such even, right? If you're smart enough, you could even get by that. Now, what happened was everybody started bombarding their users with promotions, sales coupons, and things like that, which of course, it's a good strategy in terms of, say, if the person knows about your brand and they actually like your brand, yes, it's a good strategy. Give them an offer and tap them into that. But if you're going to do this on a daily basis, it's going to get very, very annoying for the customer, right? So what will happen is that they would step out of the ecosystem. Like I said, I don't open my personal email as much as I would like to, because I know it's just spamming messages that I'm getting. So it is just for spam. Now, WhatsApp is not going to take the chance in letting business owners or marketers do that, because they know the value of what they're providing you. Right? Even as an agency, we know what we're providing you in terms of the actual value that you can get, because you can't reach your customers as easy as this. This is the closest you can get where they are, right? Because it's on their phone. You don't need to download another app. And like I said, everybody is on WhatsApp. Like, you tell me someone who might not be on WhatsApp, that is only because probably, they're even in the rural areas. But even there, I have seen myself, like, I'm in Kerala, like Abid and I are from Kerala. We are in rural districts. There I'm seeing the penetration of WhatsApp. So everybody is on WhatsApp, and they're just trying to provide a safe, secure place where your customers can have a conversation with you, where they don't get bombarded with, just someone walking into your house and selling you stuff. People don't want that, right? That's the old way of doing it. That was one-way communication. Now we are trying to do a two-way communication where people become part of, what we are creating, right? So yeah, I just want to add that to what Amit just said.
Absolutely, Nikesh. I think one best thing about WhatsApp is it has stopped people from spamming their audience.
Exactly.
Okay, so Nikesh, there are a few more questions. Would you like to pick them up? They're very very short. We can go with. So, as a fellow marketer, I think Ankit is asking that, can lead nurturing be done on WhatsApp? He wants to maybe nurture the lead for next 120 days with 2 messages a week. Do you think that is possible on WhatsApp?
Okay, so in WhatsApp, they don't like you doing a drip campaign kind of content, or like a content that is repeatable, like every week on so-and-so day that you want to send stuff. Like, for example, if you're writing a blog every week, they're not too pro into that. The reason is because it's easy to, use that into a promotional material like that, right? Because template message is once approved, you can use it for, till whenever you want to. Now, that's one of the reasons why they don't want you to do that. But that being said, there are different ways in which you can nurture your customers, right? There are a lot of touch points, a lot of creative ways you can do this while working on WhatsApp. Now, that's one of the things as a marketer, of course, as a fellow marketer, creativity is key, right? And even for us, of course, there are challenges in terms of, there are a couple of restrictions that we're talking about. But because of the restrictions, we have come across different ways in which we can implement this. To give you an example, for someone comes and orders something from your platform, or they take up your service and they pay for it, right? Now, after a few days, you are sending them that product or an update to the product. Now, that particular message doesn't have to end just with an update to the product, right? It can even lead them to asking, would you be interested in other products? Would you be interested in reading about our blogs? Would you be interested in, something else, right? So that auto notification or the template message can be a trigger where you open up your 24-hour window again. And in that 24-hour window, you can do whatever you please to, right? Because there's not much of restriction there, because it's a conversation initiated by the customer. Right. So you just have to get a bit smart around how you place things. And of course, make sure you do not violate the WhatsApp policies. They are very strict with that. If you do, you are, there is a huge chance, not just your chatbot and not just your number, but because you are verifying your business along with Facebook Business Manager, they even have the power to take your entire account down. Right now, and once it goes down in the Facebook ecosystem, if you're a marketer, you know this. Appealing to Facebook, yes, you can appeal to it, but man, it's tricky, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's tricky because unless you know what you're going through. I mean, they understand that it was an honest mistake, and you have the experience of dealing with this. They might not let you do this again, because they, like I said, they value their customers a lot. and they don't want a business or a marketer to take advantage of them, and they wouldn't let that happen the second time. So make sure you read through what are the policies of WhatsApp, and what other stuff that you can. If not, of course, people like us, Whatnot, and agencies like us can definitely help you in consulting to help you understand how exactly you can do this and what are the different ways. And honestly, it's best to leave it to the experts to do these, because Abid and I are talking 40 minutes and giving all these information for you guys after almost about a year and a half to 2 of research just doing in the industry, and it's just been 3 years since WhatsApp API even opened up, right? So and Facebook always keep updating their policies. So people like us, one of our day starts probably reading through what happens in that industry, so we keep updated and we know our client doesn't get in trouble. That's the idea, right? So if you keep under the radar, if you make sure you don't violate the policies, it's an extremely important channel that you can use. One more thing I want to add to that is, so when you're thinking of a WhatsApp, it's not just a single platform, right? So when we are doing a campaign, or if we are implementing a chatbot to our customers, what we try to tell them is that think it from an omni-channel point of view, right? Because WhatsApp API, it's an API, right? People who know about APIs, if you have an open end, you can use it for a lot of variety of stuff. And one of the things is that you can use WhatsApp's like chatbots backend, depending on which platform you're using. You can connect it to your SMS channels, you can connect to your IVR channels, you can connect to your email campaigns, and drive traffic back to WhatsApp from n number of platforms and resources, including your click to WhatsApp ads, right? I think cost-wise as well, it's much effective because Facebook actually wants you to use click to WhatsApp as a call to action. And right now it's a hot property. So if you haven't started using it, try using it. I'm pretty sure even if you don't have a chatbot or an automation, you still get a lot of people driven into WhatsApp. And because Absolutely. It's WhatsApp, people know and they trust the platform, right? And because of which, there's a higher chance of them clicking through that. That is one. And I think one more question I saw was whether you can connect your different social media platforms to WhatsApp, right? So of course, if you have a Facebook page, you can have a button on top where you can send message to WhatsApp. On Instagram, again, you can add that into as part of your bio links where, they click and the chatbot opens up, right? You can use it as a chat widget on your website. So anybody who clicks and wants to start a conversation, you drive them back to WhatsApp. You can use the links in your emails, on your blogs, the n number of opt-in points and creative that you can use this for.
Absolutely, Nikesh. I think that was very comprehensive. So I know I'm seeing a lot of questions which are moving towards, so some of them are actually moving towards you showing them the actual use case where you might have used a WhatsApp bot, and what kind of interaction did it have, and probably what kind of best practices should that bot really have. Like I personally have understood that, the bot should always define boundaries. It should not give a hope to the customer that, it is talking about everything, or it is capable to give answer of every question. So how do you do that? How do you actually define that kind of conversation?
All right. Abid, do you want to take it or should I?
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay. All right. So one of the things, like, in day one, when we started with Facebook Messenger as well, right? One of the things that we tell our customers even is that when someone is entering into your chatbot, when someone is starting an engagement with your chatbot, make sure you let them know it is a chatbot, right? Yeah. And then obviously we get a lot of questions saying that, Nikesh, but people don't like chatbots. That whole conversation can get dry pretty easy. It's repeatable. That's not true. That's the angle in which, unfortunately, like I said, since the 90s, chatbots as a tool has been majorly used for customer service driven conversations, right? Not necessarily a conversation. Even there, it was majorly, a rule-based system where it is not as friendly because it just gives you a few links, probably a few things that, you can just get an answer to even from an FAQ page, right? But chatbot these days, especially after Facebook opening up the API for Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, etc., right? What they've done is they have given a friendly interface to this. One of the things, a beautiful thing about WhatsApp is that you can send rich media content to it. You can send GIFs, you can send videos, you can send locations, you can send images. So it is not like how a regular chatbot would work. So when you're building your conversation, one of the things I would suggest as well is to have a clear-cut, call to actions in each of the messages. You have to make sure the customer understands what you want them to take as an action. So it's always good to have a header, right? It's like an email conversation. Build a header first, right? Have a first line saying that, what is this? Who am I? Or what is the use case for this? The second can be the body, where we give them options about, click one, type in one for so-and-so, type in two for so-and-so, and things like that. And have a footer as a call to action to make sure that they have understood what you talked about. So put things in capitals or block letters so that they know, okay, this is what they should do as a next step to continuing the conversation. Now, the beauty about is that you can control the conversation, how it goes, right? And because we have a large control in which, you want to give the customer a good experience. So when we are building, what we try to generally do is that every step of the stage, we tag and we pool and we segment people based on, what we want to get them to. So for example, if you're into a lead generation kind of scenario, right? Lot of use cases in the lead generation. A lot of industries that you can apply this to, starting from e-commerce all the way to real estate, hospitality, you name it. Every or most of the industries, including B2B, needs lead generation. Now, when you're doing a lead generation kind of chatbot and qualification, one of the things is that when you're giving them questions, of course, qualification is done by asking them questions, asking your customers what exactly they need. So at the start of the conversation, it is best as a good practice try to tell them how many questions probably they're expecting, right? Or tell them how, it's going to take about 2 minutes, right? It's going to take only 2 minutes of your time, right? And we time this. That's the funny part. When we do this, we time the actual conversation and we see how much time it takes so that the customer exactly spends only that much, right? These are the additional, the add-ons that you can do to help your customer out. So set that expectation. Setting expectation is, would drive everything, because customers are not, it's not that they're not patient, right? Customers are, because they want answers to things. They're coming to you at each stage of the funnel, probably at your top funnel, or middle or bottom. They're coming to you, reaching out to you because they want to know more about your stuff, right? So all you have to do is, set the expectation, give them what they want. And like I said, tell them this is a chatbot who can't answer everything, right? But the beauty of it is, if it's, like Abid was saying earlier, the live chat agent feature on Whatnot, it's very key in terms of how you build an automation system on WhatsApp, because we don't want to automate it. I mean, you can automate completely an end-to-end automation for sure. There's no question about it, right? But always have an open end at somewhere to have a live chat agent come in case the person requires that extra nudge from talking to a human being. Nothing wrong with it. You and I, you've used Zomato chatbots, you've used Swiggy chatbots, and you know how frustrating after a point it can get. So it's always good to have a fallback option as a live chat agent, and it should be pretty smooth. And of course, keep learning, look at the conversations on a weekly basis, go through the conversation, see, are you seeing any repeatable patterns, right? Because when you start building a chatbot, or even on a website, when you're building an FAQs, you look at what are the customer queries that have come in so far, right? And you build your FAQs based on that. And plus an add-on speculation of what would be, right? But once you build a chatbot, once you have the conversation running, you would see that there are quite a few questions that, you weren't expecting, but a lot of people are asking the same question, and you can automate that easily with, how Abid showed, a few clicks and a couple of copywriting can set you up for that.
Yes, that's amazing. So, Abid, Nikesh, could you show us? Are you going to show us some maybe some conversation that might help this audience? Do you think you would be able to show that?
I don't.
Maybe even if it is
plugged in by the thing, I can. So that Abid, I think you can do the screen share.
Mm-hmm. I'm also checking whether I can take something to show.
Okay. All right. So the
not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem,
yeah.
Nikesh. But what we can do is, see, there are certain people who actually want to use a WhatsApp chatbot for customer service, especially when they're going B2C. Lead generation is one part. The second part is, of course, people would like to use it for customer service. So what are your recommendations? If they are using for customer service, where exactly do you think they can use, and how can a WhatsApp chatbot really help them? Especially with e-commerce, we all have seen, people are asking for their order details and stuff like that. Do you think a WhatsApp chatbot can help? And if it can, how would you do that?
Of course. So when you're talking about customer service, depending on which industry you are in, it's different, right? For example, if you're taking the e-commerce space, there's always a set of questions that you get, right? What is my order? How can I track my order? Yes. What is my shipment? And there are a lot of repeatable questions that every customer of yours asks. Now, the problem is that when a customer has paid you, like you have been a customer, I have been a customer myself, right? So when, in the grand scheme of things, companies like Amazon have kind of, taken the psychology of customers to give them an idea that, everything can come to you or reach you at the earliest, right? It can happen really fast. In 2-day, 3-day delivery. Not the scenario everywhere, not the scenario with every business either. Now, all they want to know is to, when they come to you, they just want to get an answer as soon as possible, right? Because they have paid you their hard-earned money and for a product of yours. Now, once I pay someone for something, right, and I don't get any update from them, now as a customer, now that affects my customer satisfaction for sure, right? Because say it's been a week, I do not know where my order is. Now, if you have an automated conversation happening, what you can do is that, say, once the customer purchases something, right after that is one of the beautiful use cases as an e-commerce you can do. When you're sending them the conversation or the bill or even your invoice for that matter, right? Personalize it, right? You can personalize it to the extent where you can even put up a video from the founder as a thank you message to your customers. Now, think about that. If you're buying something and, once you get an invoice, that's where most of the customer, interaction ends with people, right? Go their extra mile, send them a video because WhatsApp can, right? WhatsApp actually can do that. So use that tool. So use it to send them a video saying that, thank you so much for, ordering from us. And if you have any queries, reach out to our chatbot. So now you are telling your customer that you can use the same platform to reach out to us at any point of the time, any time of the day, if you have any queries, right? And because it's WhatsApp, like I said, they don't have to open sign into an email, none of that, right? It's right there. It just have to, and I was reading up a stat the other day. We were discussing as well. An average person opens WhatsApp anywhere between 23 to 25 times every single day, right? So that is a huge number, right? So now you're giving them a solution in a platform that they, I think, probably using one of the most, right? Along with probably Instagram, TikTok and whatnot, right? But yeah, now that being said, so in customer service, that's key. When someone asks you a question, they at least need to get a reply saying that, okay, our agents are not available right now, or it is post working hour. We'll get back to you tomorrow and so time. Now that one message, trust me, can change how they would even perceive your brand, because they look for an answer. They didn't get exactly that, but they're willing to wait, right? They might wait for that one day. But of course, the follow-up has to go. You have to make sure you send it across. Now, if you have to do the extra mile and do this properly, what I would suggest is connect your WhatsApp API to your shipping providers, right? Use the API. They open an APIs like most of the API providers, shipping providers like Delivery and all that gives you APIs that you can connect to your systems, right? Of course, it's not as easy. Like it's not as easy as building a drag and drop chatbot. But, if you're definitely going to use our expertise or even whatnot for that example, their team or our team can help you build systems that can integrate to these kind of scenarios where you don't need a human intervention, so that someone asks, where is my order? It will pull the data from the back end of the customer service, from the shipment tracker, send them an actual update, right? Now, you want to simplify this? Just send them a link to track the order. It's very simple, right? Just send them a link. When someone is asking for, where's my order? Send them a link to your shipment provider. It's already there, right? That's the easiest way. Now, if you don't want to get too complex with the integration and things like that. Now, that is one. Two is the FAQs, right? Now, on WhatsApp, one of the things is that we keep telling people is make sure it is concise. Because I on WhatsApp or you on WhatsApp is not used to having paragraph and paragraphs of messages all the way, right? It doesn't work that way. That's not part of the conversation system. Or we're not even used to doing that. It's mostly small text messages, right? It's a conversation. It's not, a novel that people is reading. So what you have to do is make sure it's concise when you're giving answers to people, and try to have fewer blocks of text. Don't bombard people with like say 6 blocks of text. And what happens is that most of the time the people would miss the first two or three blocks because they are only looking at the last block they got. Now they might miss the context. Because they haven't read what just happened. And if the message looks longer, they might step off, right? Because distraction today is easy, right? An average person's is what they say is about 8 seconds is what a person can concentrate on something these days, especially with platforms giving you a short format content, right? So make sure you keep a short format content even on WhatsApp as well. Give them concise text and straight to the point answers. And like I said, FAQs. Now you can give them answers about these FAQs rather than typing them to a website. Right now, if you want to do that, we can do it. It's a good way to drive traffic onto your website. It's an amazing way. The moment someone asks you a question, send them a link to your website. From there, probably they would look at your other services as well, right? If you have optimized your FAQ pages, right? But otherwise, if you don't want to, like I said, it's repeatable questions now. So someone can even type that question. You can do it with keyword triggers. You can use different platforms like Dialogflow and all that to add a little bit of zest into it, so that it can be keyword based, it can be context based, it can be intent based. Now I'm getting a little technical here. I hope people listening are understanding where I'm coming from. But yeah, if you have any questions, one more thing is that if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're always open to conversations, and you can jump on a call, even to discuss how we can help you guys. If not, at least you would go back with clearing those doubts, and we can see what are the options in the market.
Absolutely, Nikesh. So there are quite a few questions. I think you guys can eventually answer them a little, maybe over a call or something, because there are people who are asking questions such as how to select a suitable BSP, and maybe I'll pass those questions to you. But let's discuss more strategic. So there's somebody who has actually asked that FB Messenger or a chatbot on an FB Messenger can also do that. Why do we need a WhatsApp chatbot against an FB chatbot? What's the benefit of doing that?
The plain and pretty straightforward answer, I think, Abid, you want to take this? I think you should say this.
Go ahead, man.
The pretty straightforward answer to this is one is, where are your users, right? So if you're going to give someone a chatbot on Facebook, it's an amazing platform. We started with Facebook Messenger, right? We still do for clients abroad, like if they're in US and all that. US has the primary platform is Messenger and Apple. So their iMessage is what they prefer. Now, in a country like India, not just India, right? And majority of the population across the globe, WhatsApp is their go-to messaging platform, right? So if you're going to drive them to a Facebook Messenger, no problem at all. You can do that, but you have to make sure they have a Facebook Messenger installed on their phone, right? Now, that is one. Two is that, like I said, these users, are they used to using Facebook Messenger more than WhatsApp? Right? You have to think from the customer's point of view, because it's a conversational platform, right? And not regular one-way kind of communication. The reason why I'm saying this is because on Facebook, the UI UX on Facebook Messenger is different. You have carousels, you have a set of lot of buttons and menus and things like that, which right now, a WhatsApp user is not accustomed to. Now, that being said, obviously, as an industry news, I'm going to give you guys a heads up. In the coming months, WhatsApp is going to add more features like menu into your WhatsApp system. They're going to add the buttons is already there. Depending on which BSP provider you're looking for, they can provide you with the button option. Now, there are restrictions on that. You can use 3 buttons, not more as of now. But yeah, what WhatsApp is doing is they're building on what they have, the base. Now they're building more and more features, more and more integrations, seamless integration into the system, so that business and marketers like you can use it smoothly and without probably much of technical help as well, right? So that's the idea. And Yeah, I hope I answered that question. If not,
Hey,
please
you have.
let me know. What exactly is here.
No, you definitely have, Nikesh. So, see, what happens is one of the problems marketers face, and I think you rightly pointed out that, as marketers, there's this innate need. We keep on feeling that, let me contact my customer one more time. Let me contact the customer one more time. There's a possibility he might reply the next time. With WhatsApp not allowing all of this, the marketers are in a dilemma. How do I contact the customer outside the 24-hour window? What should I do? So if you could give them a brief that, maybe outside the window, how can a communication happen, and can that really help in lead nurturing kind of activities? Can it actually eventually turn into business for the organization?
So it's like if you wanna message our users after 24-hour window, it will look from outside that it is not possible. Okay, we can send promotions, we can send anything, but everything
Okay.
doesn't have to be promotional, guys. You can slowly take time and get whatever we need from your customers, right? So like say if you own a Shopify store, right? Someone purchased something from your store, and then there goes an order notifications, right? And then after that, if a user responds like to any template message, there comes another 24-hour window where we can send literally anything.
Correct.
All we have to do is one template message, send one template message, which can be notifications, logistics, or even feedbacks. If someone bought your products, you can send a message saying, hey, how was your product? How was our product, right? So you just have to send one template message and make them start a conversation with you. There comes another 24-hour window which you can send whichever you want, whatever things you want. So you have to
Correct.
make use of creative strategies like that. That's how we are gonna tackle the WhatsApp also.
So, Amok, just to reiterate what he said, make things conversational. Get that customer to actually talk to you, and that window keeps on, increasing in size on its own, right? So make it
Exactly.
conversational. Don't make it mundane or very promotional for your customers, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. I
So
mean, don't make it look like how SMS is these days, right? That's what happened
yes,
there as well. So that's pretty much it. Just make sure provide value to your customers on WhatsApp. WhatsApp. The idea there is to provide maximum value to your customer. One of the things like when Abid said the use case, right, for e-commerce. For example, if you're a cosmetic company, right now someone purchases, say, a face cream from you, right? Now you as a company can teach them how to apply face cream. Apparently there are methods in which you do it, right? I mean, I'm not such a Facebook kind of person, but yeah, there are ways in which you can do it. So it is an educational way. You can obviously gain your trust. Plus, one of the things that as a marketer, of course, you would know as well, is that it is easy to convert an existing customer than to get a new customer, right? The journey is
absolutely.
much shorter. So WhatsApp provides you a platform where you can exactly do that, right? Give them value, provide them value. And of course, you can upsell. Like Abid said, it just start a conversation with them. Once that flows, from there, where you take the journey from there, it's up to you, right? And that's where you get creative as a marketer.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. So, guys, last few minutes, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ping them to us. We'll try our best that we answer as many questions as we can. So, Nikesh and Abid, I think there are a lot of questions a lot of people asking questions like which. So if you were to give them a list of service providers, business service providers, BSPs, that you would select for a WhatsApp API based on charges, specifically based on charges. So of course, quality would be another parameter. Let's just consider charges or cost as one parameter. And how will you rank them, or which are the ones that you would recommend to people?
Yeah, it's a complicated question because see what we do at Chatbeda is when someone asks like if they wanna get into WhatsApp API, right? So the first stage is finding out the right API partner. So it depends on a lot of features like that number of users you have. If you have a lakh users, a lakh conversation every month or something, you can go with Gupshup, pay as you go models, because it's gonna be cost a lot. But if you only have 100 messages, 200 messages a month on your WhatsApp account, and you don't need to subscribe to a 5,000 rupees plan or something, you can go for pay as you go models where you'll only spend less than $10 for 1,000 conversation. like something like that. So it all depends on the number of users. Like say,
Okay.
if I,
Okay.
so I'm not going to say any API provider's name, but I will put it this way. If you're going to get a lot of numbers, right? If a lot of messages on your WhatsApp, if you're expecting a lot of numbers, always go for an unlimited plan, right? There are API providers where they will, give you a plan where you can send and receive unlimited messages for one single fee, right? A monthly recurring fee. If you have a lot of messages, go with an unlimited plan. If you only have 200, 300 message people using your chatbot in a month, go for a pay-as-you-go plan like GoopShub or Twilio, right? So this is how we think. This is how the way we think. But also, also it depends on the price as well. Like if you're a company, you want to send a lot of template messages, right? If you're going to send a lot of messages outside the 24-hour window for every of your users, then you have to get a nice deal on the template message. So WhatsApp is charging 31 paisa to start with, and other API providers charge different fee, like 41 paisa, 49 paisa, and you have to find a nice deal there as well. So it's dependent on a lot of things which right provider we have to go for. It all based on the business and the number of users.
Correct. Perfect. Abhi.
Nikesh, do you want to add anything here?
Yeah, I mean, you covered it pretty much. So, in terms of BSPs, right? One of the things that you keep in mind when you choose a BSP, one is like Abid was saying, looking at the volume. Two is the features that they can provide you with, right? So, see, you can get an API without an interface, right? Providers can give you just an API with no features, like no live chat agents, none of that stuff. Now, what happens is that if the API doesn't support that kind of features, you won't be able to implement it yourself, right? Even if you use a platform, it's going to get tricky. Now you have to custom code a couple of things to build that kind of scenario. So what I would suggest, like when I'm talking to my potential customers, as well, one of the things I ask them is that, what are the features that you require? Like, do you need a live chat agent? Do you need integrations? What kind of integrations are you looking for? Is it for CRMs? Do you need ticketing systems? Or is it going to be an e-commerce platform? Or whether it's Magento, whether it's WooCommerce, Shopify, everyone has different way in which you can connect to it, right? Magento can be a bit tricky. Shopify, pretty easy, depending on which API you're using. So based on that is what I would suggest you go, and choose the API. Don't just look at just the cost, because on an average, if you, in the grand scheme of things, you compare most of the API providers, the difference is not as much. Yeah, it's almost the same. Just that it's priced, and the economics of it is done very differently based on whatever model they're using, right? Because like I would say, so if it's a pay-as-you-go model, if you're going to scale this to a point, of course, it might get expensive, right? So if you're doing it on the long run, if you want to do you just want to start with 1,000 conversations, but you're doing this for the next 1 year, your plan is for the next 1 year, grow a list of WhatsApp users for 1 lakh WhatsApp users, then I would suggest looking at a PSP provider that can provide you a good deal for that kind of volumes, right? So the initial stages, obviously, you might be paying probably 1,000, 2,000 rupees extra on what you would have. But eventually, when you reach that kind of numbers, it's going to be pretty cost effective for you guys on the long run.
Yeah. Also, it depends on the platform you use. Like Whatnot only, Whatnot. I guess Whatnot has 5 API partners, right? So you can only integrate with 5 of these. So if you have any other PSP other than Whatnot, either you have to reach out to Whatnot people asking for the integration, because it's not already there, right? So GoopShub, Twilio, and few of those API providers are already on Whatnot. So you can easily integrate it, right? It's just copying the API key and placing it Whatnot. That's easy as it. So yeah, it depends on the platform as well. You're going to build chatbots on.
Moving this conversation into a little different direction, Nikesh and Abid. So you said that, buttons are the next thing that a certain BSPs are going to provide. Along with that, I think we are moving towards menus being the next nice thing that WhatsApp is going to provide. What do you think would be other features, and why do you think this is the right time for businesses to actually take up WhatsApp? Because probably in the future they are going to give us more features and probably make marketing better, or is it that probably if you're not doing it right now, you might not be able to cope up in the future? So why do you think this is the right time, and what is going to happen in the future? Where do you think WhatsApp marketing is going?
Yeah. So WhatsApp marketing. So this is a complicated question for us because we know a lot of stuff WhatsApp is gonna come up with next, which haven't released anywhere, right? I mean, a lot of beta going on. WhatsApp is testing on a lot of stuff, and there are a lot of mind blowing stuff. I don't know if I am supposed to say this or if I am allowed to speak this before the beta starts or anything. But trust me, guys, it's for the e-commerce part as well, the payment, the WhatsApp payment, right? And even the menu, like Nigesh said, you can click on a button and you can get a menu within WhatsApp and choose one of the options. And the buttons, the interactive buttons, it's already there on template messages, right? I mean, it's with the template messages. You just have to apply with the template message with the button already, so that you can use clickable buttons within WhatsApp. And there are going to be more features in respect of e-commerce payments and a lot of different things. So it's all coming in the next 1 year pipeline, and there are no other reason that this is the best time to get on WhatsApp. You just have to start somewhere. You can slowly get your audience into WhatsApp. You can remarket them. You can build a whole funnel based on your business. So if you by now, if you start by the time, and the thing is, okay, I'll put it this way, like, okay, when Google Ads started, like when people were investing on Google Ads, right, back in 2002 or 2003, when Google Ads started, one click cost less than a cent, right? Even it was less than $0.10, and people could easily make a lot of money out of it. People could easily run ads, they get clicks for cheap. Where now, in our market, our clicks cost around $1,000-$2,000 and all.
Absolutely.
But yeah, 10 years back, it was very cheaper, right?
Correct,
so that
correct,
was because a lot of people adopted that platform very early, just like in Facebook. In 2012, Facebook's organic reach was so good. People started posting a content and they got a lot of followers and stuff. Even Instagram in that matters, and email, right? So when email marketing started, when people started using email as a marketing tool, they were getting 90% open rate or 95% open rate. Now it's below 20%, right?
Yeah,
So
16,
that's the
15,
thing
yeah,
about
depending on
WhatsApp as well. Yeah, you have to get on platforms like this before it get too crowded. So in
Correct.
what we are thinking in 3-4 years, businesses will start getting onto chatbots. Like say in the last 5-4 years, everyone needed websites, apps, social media pages, right? Just like that, every businesses will have a chatbot on WhatsApp. That's our prediction. But by the time the world, the entire marketing industry or businesses go through that route, get on it, make more revenue, enjoy your 97% open rate and click through 50% click through rate, make more money, make more revenue, make more results, and yeah, I think that's what you should do now.
Absolutely.
Now, just adding to that is that the first thing, of course, what Abid said is the first movers advantage, and that's what we call it in the marketing terms, right? So WhatsApp till 2018, they hadn't even opened the API. Now, once they opened it, it was complex. When I say complex, trust me, nothing was, unless custom coded, there wasn't any other option where you can actually put up a chatbot. Now, custom coding using Python, if you're a technical person, you know it's not an easy task, right? And especially if you want to scale it, you will need a lot more to put into it. Now, what WhatsApp did in that about 1 to 2 years is, one, like I said, the BSPs, right? They brought in the BSP so that they can provide you the services. They can provide you the post-sale services. They can provide you the technology to host your chatbot, right? And also the WhatsApp API. The two is people like us, agencies like us, and platforms like Whatnot, right? Now, you don't have to be a technical person to build a chatbot on Whatnot, right? The third point I want to stress pretty much is that that kind of follows on what Abid said, getting on these platforms like back in the day. So Facebook in 2018, Mark Zuckerberg, I think 18 or 19, if I'm not mistaken, even in their IO, right, in their presentations, one of the first things Zuckerberg said was that if they were to start a social media platform today, they would do it with a messaging app. That's what he said. They would do messaging first, right? That is the importance of having a messaging platform. Now, I'm not just saying WhatsApp, right? Another add-on I want to give you guys is Instagram beta has opened up. Now, Facebook is testing businesses on Instagram where you can actually go talk to a chatbot on Instagram DM, right? Now, that is going to be huge. So WhatsApp is not just WhatsApp alone. You were getting into the Facebook's ecosystem. Facebook Messenger was the first one. WhatsApp is already there. Instagram DM is going to come in the next few months, guys. It is going to be huge because Facebook is also working on something called the interoperability, right? I mean, straight to the T with that word, right? What they're trying to do is that if you've already seen, if you've noticed, I'm not too sure, on your Instagram, right? If you go to a DM, if you have updated Instagram and you go to your DM and you search for your friend's name, now there'll be two sections. The first section is going to be your user, your friends on your Instagram. The second section is going to be your friends on Facebook or your Messenger. Now, what they have done is they have tied up the back end of the system so that from Instagram, you can message someone on Facebook. Doesn't matter if the person is on Instagram or not. And vice versa. You can message someone from Facebook Messenger to Instagram, even if, you know, they're not available on Facebook Messenger. Now, imagine the possibility of that, right? We have, as a platform, WhatsApp has about 2 billion users. Facebook has about, 1.6 billion users on Messenger. Now, Instagram, again, has a huge set number of users. You guys are here today, and you definitely are one of the first people who are thinking about putting your businesses in these ecosystems. Now, that's going to give you a lot of advantages because by the time, even now, right, as we're talking, you guys are asking so many questions. You have a lot of questions. Now, this is just from this 2 years of, whatever's happened. As years go, there are going to be more features that's going to come in, with more ideologies, more integration, things like that, and it's going to get more and more complex. And if you start now, it'll be a breeze for you to transition into it. Otherwise, one, expensive for sure, no question. It's definitely going to get expensive as you go, as more people are going to use, more businesses are going to use it. Two is that, to adaptability to something like this, right? So, because right now I'm seeing a lot of people want to jump, like in the Indian ecosystem, want to jump into the e-commerce ecosystem because they want to move from the traditional marketing, but they are having a little bit of a trouble getting their head around these things, right? When you're talking about digital marketing, they're like, okay, you need to do Facebook ads, you need to do Instagram ads, you need to do SEO, SEM, and then your organic results out of all this. Now you're bombarded with a lot of stuff as a business, right? Right now, WhatsApp is in nascent stages where, it's giving you exactly what you need, right? And then on top of that, as you build, it's going to be much easier than building an entire system probably 3 years down the line.
That's amazing. And so for all those who are listening, right time to hop onto WhatsApp, start your marketing. This is the right time. You can save money and earn more. Begin your WhatsApp journey. And if you need more questions, guys, sorry, we are running out of time. So if you have more questions and you need personalized solution, you can send us emails. We have sent our email IDs on the chat section. You guys can send us email, bhumish@whatnot.io, nikesh@chatveda.com, and abid@chatveda.com. You can send an email to any of us, all of us, whatever suits you. Make sure you send questions. I think there are a few people who have actually asked questions about their industry and how can they use WhatsApp in their industry. I think education, manufacturing being the two questions that I can see. So guys, please send us your questions and we'll definitely try answering them as soon as possible. It was pleasure interacting with all of you. Nikesh, Abid, thank you so much for such an amazing webinar. Thank you so much for giving us so much information. Definitely, I think most people would like to contact us and mainly contact you guys to make sure that they're making sure that they're getting value for their customer. They're delivering value for their customer, right? So thank you so much, guys.
No problem, Bhumish. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, a bit.
I just wanted to add one more thing. The reason we haven't showed any real demo yet is because we built a WhatsApp chatbot so that you can receive the replay and decks when it's ready. So I'm putting the link in the chat. You can just send replay to this number or click on the link and just sign up with your email and we'll send all the decks and stuff to you guys. So just wanted to add to that.
Sure.
And Bhumish, thanks a lot. And Hardik is not here, I guess. Thanks a lot, everyone at Whatnot, for organizing this event. And we are so proud and, we're so happy to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
That's right. Thank you. You guys take care.
Bye.
Bye.